3. Case studies of major states' foreign policies. Introduction. Analyzing case studies of major states' foreign policies provides critical insights into how countries navigate complex international environments, balancing national interests, global influence, security concerns, and diplomatic relations. This document explores detailed case studies from prominent nations, including the United States, China, Russia, and Germany, examining key elements and impacts of their foreign policy decisions. B. United States strategic engagement and global leadership. Post-World War II era and Cold War. The United States foreign policy during the Cold War focused on containment, aiming to limit Soviet influence through strategic alliances, NATO, economic aid, Marshall Plan, and military interventions, Korean and Vietnam Wars. This policy significantly shaped international politics and established the U.S. as a global leader post 9/11 and the War on Terror. The 2001 terrorist attacks marked a shift to counterterrorism as a central foreign policy priority, leading to military interventions in Afghanistan and Iraq, emphasizing unilateralism, preventive warfare, and democracy promotion. This phase illustrated complexities between security, objectives, and international legitimacy. Recent policy strategic competition. Recently, U.S. foreign policy has focused on strategic competition with China and Russia, emphasizing economic sanctions, diplomatic pressure, military deterrence, and strategic alliances. Indo-Pacific strategy. This reflects ongoing shifts toward geopolitical competition. C. China, peaceful rise and assertive diplomacy. Deng Xiaoping's reforms, economic openness. From the 1980s, Deng Xiaoping prioritized economic reform and opening up, leading to significant global economic integration and diplomatic outreach, based on non-interference and peaceful coexistence. Principles significantly boosting China's global economic presence. Belt and Road Initiative (BRI). China's BRI represents ambitious foreign policy, blending economic diplomacy, infrastructure investments, and soft power projection. The initiative extends China's strategic influence across Asia, Africa, and Europe, illustrating assertive economic statecraft. South China Sea disputes. China's assertive policies in the South China Sea demonstrate strategic ambitions for regional dominance, involving territorial claims, militarization of islands, and confrontational diplomacy, challenging international norms and attracting significant global attention and diplomatic friction. D. Russia reassertion of great power status. Post-Soviet transition. Post-Soviet Russia initially sought integration with Western institutions, yet dissatisfaction with its diminished status led to assertive foreign policy, emphasizing sovereignty, security, and regional influence, notably through actions in Chechnya and Georgia, Ukraine and Crimea 2014. Russia's annexation of Crimea and involvement in eastern Ukraine reflect strategic calculations aimed at preserving regional dominance, responding to NATO expansion, and reasserting geopolitical interests, triggering substantial international sanctions and diplomatic isolation. Intervention in Syria. Russia's military intervention in Syria supports strategic interests, enhancing its geopolitical influence, securing military bases, and countering Western dominance in Middle Eastern affairs. This illustrates Russia's pragmatic and interventionist foreign policy. F. Germany, diplomatic leadership, and multilateralism. European integration. Post-World War II, Germany pursued European integration, focusing on reconciliation, economic cooperation, and multilateralism, notably shaping the European Union's formation and expansion, thereby reinforcing Germany's diplomatic influence and economic strength. Ostpolitik and reunification. Willy Brandt's Ostpolitik emphasized engagement with Eastern Europe, fostering détente and laying groundwork for eventual German reunification. This diplomatic strategy showcased Germany's commitment to peaceful engagement and strategic patience, leadership in EU diplomacy. In contemporary Europe, Germany assumes diplomatic leadership, emphasizing negotiation, economic stability, and multilateral cooperation within the EU framework, notably managing the Eurozone crisis, refugee crisis, and maintaining unity regarding Russian sanctions. G. Comparative analysis of foreign policy approaches. United States global engagement and security-driven. U.S. Foreign policy traditionally combines proactive global leadership, military strength, economic influence, and diplomatic alliances, seeking to sustain global stability and strategic interests. Though sometimes criticized for unilateral actions, China economic-centric and assertive diplomacy. China's approach emphasizes economic diplomacy, infrastructure investment, and strategic patience, balancing assertiveness with diplomatic caution. However, recent territorial disputes illustrate a shift toward more assertive strategic interests. Russia security-oriented and geopolitical assertiveness. Russia emphasizes geopolitical and security interests, asserting regional dominance and strategic autonomy, often employing military interventions and assertive diplomacy to counter perceived Western encroachments. Germany diplomacy and multilateralism. Germany demonstrates diplomatic leadership through consistent emphasis on multilateral cooperation, economic diplomacy, and consensus building, prioritizing stability, negotiation, and international law in its foreign engagements. Arch. Conclusions. Lessons from major states' foreign policies. Analyzing these foreign policy case studies highlights crucial lessons. Strategic clarity. Effective foreign policy requires clear, strategic objectives aligned with national capabilities and interests. Multilateral engagement nations benefit from actively engaging in multilateral institutions, which enhance legitimacy, diplomatic influence, and cooperative stability. Balance between soft and hard power. Integrating economic diplomacy, cultural exchanges, and strategic military capabilities allows nations to project influence effectively. Adaptability. Successful foreign policies adapt to changing international contexts, responding dynamically to emerging challenges and opportunities. Understanding these strategic dynamics provides insights for policymakers, scholars, and practitioners, enhancing the capability to navigate complex international environments effectively and responsibly.